then it's appropriate to slap them with a fine of almost 6 million Ghana cedis.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us. We are super grateful. We'll call on you anytime we need you. The intelligence Isaac Kofi.
You're welcome.
Right, let me come to the studio and have a conversation with my guests. I know they are very ready for this. And I thought Kweku had questions, but Kweku said he didn't.
No, I had no question. Just listen to him.
Okay. So, Kweku, what do you think about this? Because 5.9 million Ghana cedis on the board is quite huge. But then Ghanaians are happy because they felt that they should have been given a timetable.
Yes, I think that we all would agree that the power sector, energy sector, has got some challenges now. There's power outages in several parts. I think two places, Accra and Kumasi. Let me say that it's not nationwide. All right, there are some places who don't explain that at all. And so basically in Accra and some parts of Kumasi, it's a challenge. No two ways about that. And entirely, okay.
Obuasi.
Yeah, but it's pocket. It's not really widespread as we've had before in the past. And that brings me quickly back to what His Excellency Dr. Bawumia has promised this country of giving us 2,000 megawatt solar power. And that's important because, as you heard him mention, we're paying for fuel that we don't control. We have no control in the fuel economy of this country. It's being controlled by other powers somewhere. You understand me? So its pricing and so on is all affecting you. So it's a very important point to make. Once Bawumia comes into office, that dependence on fuel and so on will go down, and they will be very independent and be able to have our power consistently.
The fuel thing you mentioned is quite interesting because, some time back, let me say last year, we heard of the gold for oil.
Yeah.
And so we, as Ghanaians, citizens, were very excited about it because we knew that was going to regulate the price of fuel for us. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, as much as we don't control the price on the market, we still know that we are having gold for oil, so it should have some sort of control and things should be a bit better, right?
No, the gold for oil actually is supposed to help our forex or foreign exchange, demands on central government as a main thing.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with the energy and all that. It's good for oil. It's supposed to maintain the currency as a main thing because we have to always go and find dollars we don't control to go and buy fuel. So if we have gold we can leverage to exchange, that's okay. All right, that's another topic. I can go in there discuss a lot of stuff with the gold for oil. And so yes, I understand what we're going through, and Ghanaians should be rest assured that the government is working to make sure it's all sorted out. And so back to the PURC and their fines to the ECG board. I think that the PURC, as clearly we know, is supposed to be in between the consumers and the distributors, that's being ECG. And the PURC clearly is doing their work. They're supposed to hold ECG accountable to ensure that people who consume the power are okay. And that in times also when, they have to come on the side of the ECG to say increase tariffs, they've done that, you understand me, to be able to convince the consumers that, listen, you're paying too small for it. It's important we up it up so, we pay right prices for it. So I think they're doing their work. And I think, commendations should go to government for allowing them to do their work without, no strings anywhere.
They can't do anything about it because PURC is a body, a regulatory body, so
I think
government can't do anything.
I understand, but we know that, governments have no control. All right?
They don't have control.
But we believe in the rule of law and we're allowing them to do what they have to do.
You are not allowing them.
So that's a plus to government.
No, that's not a plus to government. PURC is a body, a regulatory body that government cannot interfere in whatever they do.
I think you understand, government pays them anyway.
But it still cannot do anything about it.
The bottom line is that the law is working. We're allowing the law to work without much interference, which is a very good thing for government. We believe in democracy and the rule of law. And so the interesting point here is having to fine the board members such huge amounts of money. I think, first of all, I would say, to me, it may be a signal that PURC is serving to other board members and potential board members in the future. Because I would have thought that ECG being a limited liability company, you fine ECG itself and other board members. It's a huge amount of money, almost 6 million Ghana cedis. Yeah. If the PURC itself is saying that ECG might find it difficult to pay, I wonder how easy it will be for board members to pay that money. I hope you understand me. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it's being judged to see the end of it. But the bottom line is that a signal is being sent that when you are put in the role to make sure that people get what they want and what they deserve, you make sure you check and deliver it. You understand me? And so I think it's a plus for government. Let me say that it's a plus for government Let's see how that goes, and let's see how they
does
find the money to pay.
come in here?
Oh, but I'm just saying that I've just told you how. I mean,
I don't see
as far as I'm
the
concerned,
glass,
this is supposed to be the first
explain.
time board members of ECG are being fined. You understand me? And I'm saying that government has allowed PURC to do its work without interference. Because some government could interfere with them and say that, don't go and find them.
How? Nobody is above the law. You can't go above the law. This is an
they
independent
won't
body that no government can actually
any
interfere.
Interference wouldn't be above law issues.
It will be what?
Government is government. And government will have control over things.
Government is not above the law.
Government allows things. Government this time is saying that go ahead and do your work. In the interest of the Ghanaian people, just go ahead and do your work. I think it's a plus. You understand? So it's something new, and let's see how that goes.
Okay.
Right? What I know for sure is that whatever challenge the government is facing, whatever challenge the power sector is facing, the energy sector is facing, a lot is being done to make sure it's addressed.
All right, Adele.
Rosalind.
Yes.
You know, what we're having to deal with is the basic issues of what you would want to call karma. And I use the word karma because just some years back, you can understand their difficulty. Like some years back, the kind of noise they made, so it is a bit difficult admitting to the situations that we find ourselves in. Because then, if you do, the election is lost, pretty much. You know, part of the reasons why the NDC lost in 2016 was because of Tumsor. So it's difficult, and I can understand that. But let me clarify a few things before we even go into it. Now, the issue of we have control and government this time is allowing people to do their work and all of that also tells you the kind of mentality this government has. They feel and have this urge that they must be able to pinpoint how they want things done, regardless of what the Constitution says. They have to have their way, you know. And they've been doing this, you know, for a long time now. Nobody has the power to do anything. It's like he's doing whatever he wants to do until he leaves power, and we'll deal with it. When you come to PURC...
I told him, I made him aware that government does not have a hand in it. Government cannot interfere.
No, yeah, but in as much as you are insisting that, he's still telling you that, look, we could have done something because they've been doing something. That's the reality, you know, and we know, and we've been saying it, you know. So coming from him, it's, you know, quite rich. But you see, first off, the order is directed to both ECG and the board. And it states categorically, this order is directed to the Electricity Company of Ghana, to the board members of ECG for the period of 1st August 2023 to 18th March 2024. So it's to the two of them. It's both to ECG and the board. There are three things, you know, they're basically holding them for. The first one is non-compliance with the cash water for mechanism.
Yeah.
The second thing is non-compliance with regulatory requests, which is the data that they have requested for. They're asking you say you bought fuel. Give us details of the fuel you bought. You know what I'm saying? You will want to have details of the data of the various, you know, outages you have done over the period. Give us those data. You say you're running about 60-something accounts. You're supposed to run a certain number of accounts in order for the transparency in the cash waterfall mechanism to work. You're running more than those accounts that we have agreed on. Give us details of the account. Out of 67, you give them 34. The rest is not coming, you know. So these are part of the reasons why. The third thing, it says non-compliance with the Public Utility Regulatory Commission. This is a consumer service as under regulations 2020 LI 2413, which also categorically indicates that when PURC gives you, like, you have certain responsibilities towards the consumer. You're supposed to report to them 3 days before you do outages and all of that. You're not complying with all these basic details. So for that reason, we're asking you to pay this amount of money